Good morning. I'm so excited for this project. We are going to do a Matisse inspired jelly print using our light yellow background from earlier. And I'm excited. Let's get started. So, oops. We have our clean gel plate. This is just where I'm cleaning off my brayer. I have my yellow background, and I'm going to make something like this. All of these shapes are very much Matisse inspired shapes. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I am making my own version of this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make my cutouts. So the cutouts, the star or sun, I don't know which this is, moon or sun, I don't know which this is. Matisse also has a lot of figures in his artwork, and then he has tons of these kind of curvy, fluid, organic shaped leaves. So for each of these, I started with a piece of paper and cut out the shape that I wanted, and then use them to mask the second layer of paint, which in this case was blue. And I'm going to stick to that, but I'm changing my shades. Okay, now I'm going to switch places, put my gel plate back on my sketchbook. And since I'm working with the yellow background, I want to have a high contrast color to make the second layer. So if I look at my color wheel, I can see that my yellows, this yellow is someplace over here. So colors that are analogous are a group of 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So analogous colors would get me reds and oranges, or greens and blues, or complementary colors would mean that I would go with complementary colors on the other side, which is, this is kind of more of the yellow orange. So my purple violet is on the other side. So you can do either one. I'm looking at these 3 colors for 2 reasons, but you can look at other colors. The most important thing I think is to have high contrast. We intentionally had the background be a light yellow, so we intentionally want to have the foreground or the second layer be a dark color. So I have phthalo blue 401, purple 411, and crimson 201. You might think about what's going to happen in this area, because you can see over here on the edge, you can see that I started with the yellow in my background. This was a different yellow from this yellow, but it's the same. My original yellow on this example was the lemon yellow. My original yellow for this example is the yellow deep. So you'll have a little bit of a difference there, but then I used this blue on top, which I think was the deep cyan blue. And so it's a very true blue here, but where it's layered, it turns greenish. So you'll want to think about what color the background is, because that color is actually a combination of your second layer, in this case deep cyan, with your first layer, which is lemon yellow. So it's not a true blue anymore. So if I combine phthalo blue and then this yellow, it'll be a greenish, because yellow plus blue equals some kind of green. If I choose the crimson, the background is orange. The crimson is someplace over here. and so it will make an orangey color for my background. And if I choose the purple, they're pretty much opposites. So they are going to neutralize each other and end up making kind of a neutrally gray brown. For that reason, I'm going to take out my complement, and I think I'm going to go with the phthalo blue because I do like how it turns kind of greenish. You get to choose which one you want to use for your print. So now I'm going to take my phthalo blue and 3 dots. Did I say 3? I didn't mean 3, I mean 4. Push it up just enough so that the paint is as tall as it is wide. Our nice clean brayer, we're going to press and lift, kind of skirting across the top. Ooh, that is such a pretty blue. You can change directions if you want. Okay, clean off your brayer. Put your brayer down, kind of in the same location. You can flip it if you want, or you can do it the same way that I have it. Of course, if you have different cutouts, then that'll make a difference too. So my little person is someplace over here. You want to try to avoid what I just did, which was set my finger down in the paint. That's going to show later, but oh well. My little sun up here, my spiky, and then just put it down once. And if you think, oh, could have been different, just don't worry about it. Okay, so maybe this is going off, and then, I don't know, I kind of liked this shape. Maybe I'll put that down there. As soon as you get your little pieces in place, then you're going to take your yellow background, make sure that it is facing your gel plate, and you're going to want to try to register it, which just means align the back layer print with the second layer print as much as you can. Some people that's important to, and some people it's not, but I can kind of see through where my yellow paint is and try to kind of line it up, and then just commit, just put it down. And I can see that I'm pretty far off. That's okay. If it was really important to us with your clean brayer, you're going to roll over the gel. If it was really important to us, then we could make little marks on the outside, on the back side of our paper, and really make it line up perfectly. But the nice thing about it not lining up perfectly is A, it doesn't really matter, and B, you kind of get to see like this little color edge, and I kind of like that. And if you think I'm just saying that because that's what happened, well, maybe I am. That's okay too. All right, you can check. I need a minute. Okay, let's check this one. Oh yeah, take it off. Ooh, I love that. Okay. And you do want to carefully take off your stencils because you have the option of using those a second or third time. This will end up coming off onto the next print, whether you make it or somebody else makes it. We want to make sure that it's clean for that next person. So you can just take any paint, put our 4 little dollops on, that this can become a background. I purposefully picked the blue because the blue is what's left on that plate. Okay, clean off my brayer. Need a piece of paper. So I'm being a little bit careful about the edges since that I didn't push down the edges too much last time. And I can pull it up. It's interesting because there's a little bit of a ghost from our shapes, which I don't know, I don't mind. It's kind of interesting. Huh. All right. And we should have a pretty clean